The last example I would put out, although there's several more I could discuss, is a young couple who've always been healthy, and they wanted to start a family. And unfortunately, they had three infants, all of whom passed away shortly after birth because of severe birth defects. The most striking of which was that the brains of these three infants were only 5% the size of a normal newborn brain, about the size of a quarter. And that was accompanied by severe heart and lung defects. So my colleague, Dr. F. Sessions Cole, who's been the Director of Newborn Medicine and the Chief Medical Officer at Children's Hospital, did all the standard genetic surveys and could not find a cause for this in this family. These children's constellation of birth defects did not fit any known disease or syndrome, so he asked us if we could use the sequencing technology and look for a new gene that was involved in this horrible outcome. And lo and behold, we found a gene that we believe is critical for normal human brain and heart development. And again, there was very little known about this gene, and so we're learning a lot about normal human physiology and development through this technology. And what's exciting is that we have the possibility to educate this couple, provide them with the information necessary for them to go on and make choices for themselves and decide if they want to use the information that we can provide to help them have the family that they so desperately want. And that's the first instance that I'm aware of being able to apply the technology directly to someone's personal medical care. And all of these advances come through the Children's Discovery Institute's funding of these projects.
Scientists have the ability to discover the probability of certain diseases in an unborn child as well as alter his or her phenotype. With technological advancements every day, the concept of gene sequencing has become a possibility available to those willing to pay the price. Lots of new companies are springing up, offering cheaper and cheaper ways to sequence genes and predict future medical issues.
Pros. The ability to be informed about future medical problems is extremely attractive to parents with newborn children. According to Time magazine, nearly all parents said they would want to know about every disease risk, even if there is no treatment available.
The science is becoming more and more advanced. With the advancing technology, the procedure becomes less and less expensive. It can help people cope with terminal illnesses that may be in their near futures. Ability of parents to see what problems their children may develop, leaving them with more time to go about finding a cure or coming to terms with the situation.
Specific examples include the ability to reveal which breast cancer patients are unlikely to benefit from particular chemotherapies, which could save hundreds of millions of dollars each year. Companies like 23andMe offer gene sequencing with the slogan, "Forewarned is forearmed."
Cons. Due to the enormous wealth gap in the United States, only those willing to pay the price will have access to this technology, while the vast majority do not. Researchers may end up finding various chromosomal issues with patients that are not related to their medical issues. Companies may be able to exploit their customers by forcing them to acquire unnecessary treatments for chromosomal abnormalities that they discovered through gene sequencing.
For instance, Dr. Arul Chinayan was studying the gene sequence of a man with cancer only to discover that the man also possessed the genes of the virus that causes AIDS. Parents unnecessarily filtering a child's life because of odds. For example, parents not allowing a child to engage in activities simply because of heightened odds of medical problems later in life.
There are ethical issues involved. Upon finding out that their child has certain diseases, many parents may choose abortion. This raises the question, is science playing God? Doctors are forced to decide whether or not they should warn their patients of issues unrelated to their current situation. For example, one doctor was studying the gene sequence of a man with cancer when he discovered that the man also possessed the genes for a virus that causes AIDS. Our take. We feel that gene sequencing is a powerful tool that has the capability not only to save lives, but also to better the medical community as a whole. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and we must take steps in order to assure that companies do not take advantage of patients.
There must be guidelines as to what doctors are allowed to tell their patients upon the discovery of other chromosomal issues unrelated to their current medical predicament.
Patients should have the option to be informed about any and all issues, related or unrelated.